It's time for the news review segment. We have a number of issues to look at. Last night, His Excellency the President, John Dramani Mahama, engaged the media and on a wide array of topics. If you like, call it an accountability session, where the President sought to give account of his 8 months. I like to say 8 months because I take out January. So 8 months in office. And a number of questions were posed to him. He responded saying, to me, it was very humane, he was truthful, very objective, and of course gave us a hint of what he intends to do going forward. I have gentlemen in the studio this morning to help us dissect some of the issues that came up and bring different perspectives to same. The Honorable Nilante Vanderpoy is here. He's the National Coordinator for the District Road Improvement Project. Honorable, good morning. Good to have you. Good morning. Larry Dogbe is here. He's the Managing Editor of the Herald newspaper. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning.
Good to have you.
Yeah.
Were you there last night?
Yes, I was.
How was it?
Well, I think it went well.
He was on the front row. You didn't see him.
Oh, no, not the front row. Not the front row. But I have a
senior journalist. So.
I have a bone to pick with Felix Ofosu-Kwakye.
Oh, why?
Oh, I mean, Charlie, I kept raising my hand and my hand with the man.
It's always the case.
Our eyes met.
Oh.
So I left the place thinking that, okay, it was a day for only electronic media.
Not print?
No, it's only this morning that it occurred to me that Gomda, Alhaji Gomda was...
Gomda.
Yes. But even that, it was a presidential pardon.
Sort of.
It's giving him.
Because he was a senior to
the president.
At Ghana School.
Yes. And so, I mean, so he was only newspaper person.
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
No, really? I think there was one other.
Who?
There was one other, I don't know whether he's a foreign journalist.
Oh, no. All the foreign journalists, I think Radio France and then BBC. They are the two foreigners who were asked to.
And there's one who say he writes for L'Equipe.
L'Equipe.
French.
Yeah.
Yes. But no. There was
L'Equipe TV and L'Equipe newspaper.
Yeah, so we don't even know whether it's a newspaper or... Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he ended up... Guess what? Bernard Abler sat behind me. I said, our eyes met. Ofosu saw me. I even tested him. Charlie, why?
How far?
How far? What they have?
Definitely not everyone can ask a question.
Yeah, but
the time constraint.
Yeah, I also think that normally he would, the president used to do this in the afternoon.
Yes.
Also in the morning.
So the mid-morning.
Mid-morning.
Yeah.
And he afforded the opportunity, you know, to most people to ask the kind of questions.
Exactly.
Obviously, everything can be asked. But
I was a bit worried because the timing, because I felt that how many newspapers at that time.
Exactly, that was my concern regarding the timing. So if you notice this morning, it's just a few papers that were able to capture.
I learned his engagements during the day were just too many.
Perhaps he could have shifted.
Because he was away for some time. I think his engagements were there too many. And they didn't want to miss the dates too. Because initially they had wanted to do this last month. But because of the occurrence. So they have to shift it.
Right. Honorable, let me pick your thoughts on the event in general, the type of questions that were posed. I mean, I'm asking this because of your own background as a journalist yourself, the type of questions that were posed by the media practitioners and the responses generated from the president.
Let me first say good morning to our viewers and to all of us here in the studio, and to say it's a long time. My first critique, I would say, is about the timing. Because it went a bit too late. So what we expect that the newspapers will cover this morning, and even not electronic media, not almost everybody, will have this thing to go back to the office, prepare for to do. So maybe it's after this afternoon and maybe subsequently after tomorrow that people will have time to really digest what. But then the first comment is that this time I was happy there was no discrimination in terms of the perceived bias of journalists. So almost everybody had invitation, provided you wanted to be there. hitherto we've seen situations where certain media houses and certain media personalities were intentionally barred from such events, and it did not help well. But this one, I say there was freedom, and everybody, once you applied for accreditation, you got it, and you were there, and then you had the opportunity to ask questions. Secondly, I was also happy with the fact that this time it is not a situation where the president will call ministers to respond to questions. The president himself stood there, answered all the questions from all the sectors. And that was commendable.
What does that say of him?
That says of him that he's in touch. He's on top of his job. He's getting the feedback required. He's giving people responsibilities. He's getting the feedback from them. My only disappointment was the fact that the only question came on drip.
You should have planted one.
Perhaps Larry would have asked that.
You should have planted one.
And let me say this, the questions which were asked were good questions.
Very well.
Very, very good questions. Some of them were a bit skating. To me, I thought that this one is too much in the ribs.
Which one? The one on the Chief Justice?
For example.
The Supreme Leader.
The Supreme Leader. But you could see the way he handled it, the humor he added to it, and it brought attention down, even making reference to his former boss, the late President Mills. And that was good. I could see everybody there at least laughing.
Yeah.
And it made the atmosphere a bit more relaxed. He himself, apart from the little problem I think he was having with the weather, he himself was very calm, very humble. There was one question that I saw, I thought ruffled him a bit. That was a question on the issues happening in his own backyard.
The Guinea conflict.
Yes, but I said, yeah, that is vintage of Mahama. You know, the Jama had known the communicator. The way he handled the question, how he stretched to his background, his relationship, our marriage connections, our intermarriages and things. At least, even if it was not directly meant to achieve the ultimate result of bringing peace to the area, just listening to him, I think the factions will understand and appreciate that we are together. We are a group of people who have lived together for long. And maybe if we have not looked at our cultural diversity, that has made us, this time it is this thing for us. So, generally, let me say, it was a good program. I will encourage more of it. I also like the brevity of the questions and the brevity of his own answers. And it's a bit, let me say, that people like Larry did not get the opportunity to ask questions. I would have loved that possibly, yes, but that possibly people like Larry, people that the media have known, people that, let me say, hold very prestigious personality status among the media fraternity, like the way we used to do it, specifically we call Kwaku Bakun, Professor Melson's time, Kwaku Bakun, Kwesi Pratt, and those let them ask questions. I would have wished. But Felix was quiet, and I was very happy with the fact that he even extended the questions to people who were not present. You understand? So people called online, people called outside, and that was good enough. I think that gave almost everybody an opportunity to ask questions. People who never expected, maybe they would have thought that this one is reserved for those on the higher pedestal, but they had opportunity to also ask questions. It was good. Today, the reaction I have picked from people looks like the only question people were not too happy. The only response people were not too happy with was his response on the issue of the Galamsey. I think people came there expecting that the president would say, yes, I've accepted state of emergency. You understand? And so listening to various media houses, people's reaction and all those things, it looks like that's the only question and the only response from him that people were not to. But I felt that he intelligently handled that question because he made it clear that yes, state of emergency, yes, I could do that. But that is when I have exhausted all the opportunities and the legal regimes available to me as a head of state. And I think we haven't. We still have this, we still have this, we still have this that we could use to do. And two, I've never thought that from day one, I've never thought that the fight against Galamsey was going to be an event. It's a process. And we started, we've done this, we've done that. We have this number of blue water guards. We're going to recruit more. This is what they are going to do, and this is what we are going to do. It tells you that there is a plan, there's a program. Maybe that plan and that program had not yielded the sort of results that people are looking at. And as we see today, every issue, every discussion about Galamsey have been heightened by the fear that have come as a result of the problems confronting the Ghana Water Company Limited. Obvious, you know, and the sort of attempt to pass that liability to us, the ordinary consumers, which may be justified though, because they will need the sort of resources they will need to be able to cure, to provide the service. So I think that is what the only response that has not generated that much appreciation from the public. But I think in the midst of that lack of appreciation from the public, I think the president really handled himself very well. His responses were apt, and he was also much more relaxed. He didn't create any tension. He gave everybody the opportunity to appreciate that I am still the John Mahama you have known, and the presidency has not changed me. So I think it was a good night. I will encourage more of that. I wish we could have even one more before the end of the year, because we should be able to critically do 1 year assessment of our governance. And I think he's the best person to do that. Maybe somebody will say by the end of the year will be too much. But I would have wished that on the 7th of January, for example, which is supposed to be a governance day, our Constitution Day, we could dedicate it to another day like that, where we can have more time, we can have many more journalists have the opportunity to ask questions. At that time, we will have had some yields from the responses he gave yesterday. We could do further more assessment. Because obviously, there are some of the expectations, to me, are not the sort of results that you can have within 8 months. You understand? So I wish that on the 7th of January, for example, we can commit it, all of us as a nation, to give the opportunity to him to face us and account to his government.
Okay, very well. Let me see a former member of parliament, a former regional minister for the Eastern region. Good morning, Honorable.
Morning,
welcome.
Thank you. Good to see you too.
Right, we're looking at the media encounter with the president last night, so I'll jump to Larry and then I'll come to you.
Hey.
You were there.
Sure.
What stood out for you?
Thank you, and good morning to our viewers. And then, my senior brothers here. I think that the atmosphere stood out for me. It was a very, cordial environment, very interactive and engaging. And also, the president's responses. He came across as somebody who knew what he was talking about. So, for instance, the bit where the question about the excavators and the fact that, they are driven out in the middle of the night, and that somebody or people were saying that, the excavators were being handed over to people some people in the middle of the night. And he came out to say that, no, that's not true. And that, it's been driven rather to the Shah Hills area.
I'm involved in it. So.
All
the low beds are our low beds. Drip low beds.
Okay.
And we're not doing that operation. It's 2 operations. The one with the port, because they really have taken a lot of space at the port. And we needed to move them to another place. And there's another operation with the ones that have been seized from the forest reserves.
Okay.
So those ones are being moved to Kumasi and to Takoradi. So we've mobilized all our low beds from Oti region up to Western North.
Okay.
And they are doing that operation.
Okay.
And the good thing for me is yesterday I've followed with a letter. The Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, the Minister of Interior, have together agreed that we should write to them, drip management should write to them, and all these seized excavators will be given to us, license handed over to us, so that we add it to the equipment that the districts have. So that the district will have use of those equipment, so that people don't have the opportunity to take them back to the mining sites.
That's very informative. So, I mean, the bit about, you know, the excavators going to wherever it is. I mean, very often you've had presidents not paying attention to, I mean, the nitty-gritty, you know, the minutest, whatever it is. But I mean, he came across as somebody who knew that. Another thing he spoke about, which is the roads. He seemed to know a lot of the roads in the area, particularly the one that had to do with the Bole Bamboy into Cote d'Ivoire and all those other places. I mean, where to turn, how to, you know, again, I don't know how well you know your hometown. But, yeah.
Is that where you come from?
Yeah, that's where my mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So
okay.
yeah,
I stayed there for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
I was then a national service coordinator.
Okay.
Oh, great.
Okay.
I'm from Gabriel also.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Okay. I have sat on this table with Honorable Seta Champong.
Yeah.
And the beauty with which he was describing, you know, Eastern region. Yes.
Yeah.
And when the program was over, when we got down, and I mean, the man knew what exactly he's talking about, where to go, what to do. And he also knew the dynamics of the Eastern region, where which population is, as in the Krobos are, the Evers are, you know, even the Evers, he knew the Togolese Evers and then the Agro Evers, the economic activities and so on. I mean, I was fascinated listening to him. Now, for President Mahama to also you know, come down to that level. But that's not the first time. I've heard him before talking about the Teshi, Labadi, you know, there, and then how the roads had to be designed such that, I mean, this one connecting to that one and so on and so forth. I mean, this is somebody who knew what exactly was talking about. Now, on the Galamsey matter also, I mean, he gave a very, you know, beautiful picture as to how, as to why the state of emergency, and said that, listen, we have put in place A, B, C, D, just to ensure that, I mean, things are working. It is when they are not working, then you get back to, you know, to the drawing board, you know, to try to, you know, correct whatever it is again. And so that was also okay. Now, before then, the speech he gave, as in the statement he gave, I was shocked that 8 months, you know, it's relatively a short time for all this to be put together, to be achieved or to be put together, the extent to which it was put. And well, we could only commend him. So these are my initial comments as we, you know.
Well, Honorable Seta Champong.
The local boy.
Yes.
Good morning once again, and good morning to my colleagues here. I haven't seen in a while. Nia has been busy. Larry has also been in the corners looking for more news to put out there for us to read. I think
Actually, I've been waiting for your declaration.
Me?
Yes.
I'm sure it's like Panonofio.
He has started the live wire.
Oh no, you see, whoever said we support, I pray for the person.
No, but why not he himself going?
Oh, well, Seth is looking for running mate.
Oh, okay. Can't for that.
Oh, importantly, I think it was a good exercise. President Mahama, that I have known for more than 3 decades, this shouldn't be anything that would be something he wouldn't be able to deliver. At least I believe President Mahama, as a deputy minister, as a full minister, reporting forward on behalf of President Rawlings, coming up, becoming a ranking member of communication in Parliament, how he, managed himself before handing over that portfolio to Haruna Idrisu, my brother. And then President Mahama as a running mate to President Mills, a communicator like I'm sitting directly opposite you. He used to sit on sets and communicate and express himself. So if it comes to expression, you can take away from... There's a name in his closet among his siblings. They call him Mark Antony. Anybody who's read Shakespeare's novels who know who Mark Antony is. And so among his siblings, President Mahama is called a Mark Antony.
Right.
So he's a very good person when it comes to communication. Now, I said style because the exercise held at the Jubilee House yesterday was something that we invited most, not all, most media houses. And I felt they had done well. What really struck me was that when my brother Felix was moderating, he said he was going to cut across everybody. But I thought he's very well on top of his job, I know. But at the point, he had to allow one media entity to carry a whole session until he brought in the people from the northern region who were calling for the region, because I think Media General had to take one whole slot. TV3, Onuya TV, TV3, which there are more people in the house, because if you are cutting across, you have to cut across well, because you want us to believe in the professionalism.
I was equally worried about that, because then you had, TV, radio, I think they had radio and so on. But also, I think it had to do with our sitting arrangement as well. Okay, and...
Larry, my worry is that in our day and age, once you profess a thing, people want you to see how you walk that walk. So for me, if it happens that way, somebody may say it's premeditated, and you have some selective, because people had already started accusing you of selecting certain media houses. Because some media houses had not been invited, and they were already complaining. So if these things happen, but like I said,
no, it wasn't about.
That's why
it wasn't about invitation actually. So they tell you that I called Felix to say that what's happening? I needed to attend. So then he told me that I could walk in and then I could get that accreditation. Now later on, I had a call from Primpack. That's the Private Newspapers Association, and that
that's how he did the invitations. GJ Primpack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they are the ones who extended the invitation to. So I even heard the GJ secretary.
So, beautiful. Larry, you understand my point. That's why I said it's a style. Your style of leadership is how we see things. People may be used to a different style. So when people are critiquing, it is only good for us to appreciate people's concerns because of the kind of dispensation we are in. So I saw that people had concerns. And genuinely, when people have concerns, you have to open your ears to them and listen to them, so that you are not accused of being skewing your actions. Then the content was delivered. I took my time to really sit back, and also I listened to a different network who assembled colleagues to also do a review immediately post the exercise. And I was listening to a couple of them. And one of the things that struck me was, more often than not, I don't know when you become a public servant and you are Christian the politician, I don't know how some media people expect you to behave. And you are seen as, well, forgive my language, sometimes people think politicians are not part of the society that we live in. And I was happy when Larry was talking about the depth of knowledge of the president in his neighborhood. You can't be a member of parliament, a good one, of your constituency, and wouldn't know every nook and cranny of that constituency. Then you are not a member of parliament for that particular constituency. Because everybody within that space wants to have a bite of you. More or less, when you graduate into higher offices, everybody expects to see you around. President Mahama, as a former assembly member, graduating to become a second-time president of this country, nobody knows Ghana better than him. And we have to agree, since he became a running mate in 2008, he's been on the road in this country. He knows everywhere. So I'm happy he demonstrated that. That added to my knowledge of using experience as a yardstick to excel. And so I give that to him. I think a question came from a media house in relating to Galamsey. And they structured it in relation to Water Resources Commission and then how our economy is benefiting from our local production. I say this because in one of the answers, President Mahama gave us the appreciation because he was asked if he was going to go on a capital market. And he said, no, for now we are going to look within. And whoever thought that we could manage our numbers this way without going out for external support, i.e. for loans.
He says we've survived without borrowing, so there's no need to return quickly to the capital market.
That was a very good answer. And then additionally, he was laying emphasis on homegrown policies. And so there comes the much touted gold buying policy, which is being used to shore up our currency and make our economy stable. And the source of that resource then comes back into the same menace we've been discussing over the years, Galamsey. So then you ask yourself, what measures are we putting in place to clean the place? The president talked about responsible mining cooperatives, which is going to be used to help alleviate some of these things. So I sat back and I asked myself, I'm so happy I'm hearing Mr. President speak this way and telling the people the reality. So the previous administration, when we were speaking to the issues, we're not speaking to the issues as if we had just dropped from some planet, but that was the reality. That's the conditions we've come to meet. And if you work with the conditions, we should all agree. For me, it's not for political expedience. I won't sit here and tell me that I know that you are doing this because of political expediency. If you would want that from me, I'll tell you, then all that I saw yesterday was politics. That is if I want to go below the belt and not appreciate and speak like a citizen who understands his community and society. So this is how our Christian these things. And so let us be careful when we speak and we talk about our fellows. This is Ghana. We are not 40 million. We are less than 40 million a population. And so when we are assessing our own country, let's be honest to the issues so that when our backs are against the wall, people would appreciate what we are doing. I say this across the aisle so that all of us, as we do our basic work of trying to express our ideas, communicate our plans, we do so, be mindful that there is a day of reckoning, that when you are pushed, you have nothing to say. For instance, when the president gave reasons why we can't have a state of emergency, from my experience, there's no way we can declare a state of emergency. It comes with several considerations. As the commander-in-chief of our armed forces, if you are mindful, Ni will tell you, when we used to live in this country, and all we knew and all we had was the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. Any person who seized a Ghana Broadcasting Corporation and made an announcement that our state authority is destabilized was the new leader and the new voice of our country. And so such actions, when we were having our consultative assembly at the time, in preparation to the dispensation we are in today, people were mindful when certain enactments were effected in those discussions. I say this to the point that you can't just say declare a state of emergency and then out of the blue go and have a state of emergency. Today, the president is telling us that there are a lot of options So when the previous administration was talking about options, we didn't know about options. But my joy is that the chickens have come home to roast. We are facing the music ourselves.
Yeah.
And it is good that as a people, we know what is eating us up as a people. I, as a former appointee, understand that exercise, in as much as we benefit of it, it is also destroying our society. And I'm not surprised that turbidity levels are so high. And interestingly, when I said somewhere else the other day that the people who have been accused that from the administration's political party of meddling in Galamsey, I just laughed when Mr. President spoke. And I could see there's no premium on the matter. Because if there is any truth in what has been alleged, we will attend to it. To paraphrase the president, it tells me that there's nothing. It was just, for my language, a rhetoric. Of course.
You think so?
I believe so. I don't need to think so.
You think
am not the one who came to accuse anybody.
the President's Attorney General will ask for a member of the party to be investigated without...
Dominic is my brother, as you know. I don't need to sit here and just talk about him in a way. It won't pay me anything. But the matter has been given to Yoko to investigate. We've been in government. I've been in government before. And there are several ways, forgive my language, of spinning a matter. And so when you
So you are spinning now.
it is up to who.
No, they span during their time.
You
So
see-
they suspect
you
that we are
see-
also spinning.
you see- Beautifully, I like these interjections
Which of them? His.
from all of you. At a point, you took the wind out of my sail and you danced in town so much. It's doing similarly to me.
No.
I'll come again. You see, the joy of it is all that we want the betterment of Ghana.
Right.
Yeah.
And so all that we do, let us be candid and just push and make Ghana a good country for everybody to live in. That is the country I know. And that's the country I love. So when I speak, it is not every person in my political party who may believe in the way I present my issues. Likewise, from other places. But the good news is that we are in a dispensation where people are permitted and are allowed to also speak their mind. And then we gather the best out of it. This is how we can build our country. And for me, this is the country that I pray that everybody thinks towards and work towards. If we become too political and too entrenched and decide on certain things, we go nowhere.
Very well.
I want to add, I like a point made by my brother. You see, yesterday, sitting down and listening, the president did a critical definition of how the gold and the resource is helping us manage our economy. Sitting here, as a member of government, I'll clap for Sami Jemfi and the people handling it. But then I also sit here and I ask myself a question. How much of that gold came from Galamsey? And yesterday I heard the president himself analyze and say that, look, there's a whole tracing, tracking system and all to be
The
sure.
traceability clause in the Gold Board Act has been deferred to next year, so it's not enforced.
So what I'm saying is that at least those are the things to be able to make you and I be able to know that, listen, if we're getting gold onto the market, an international market, we've secured ourselves within a legal regime that will make it difficult for the international market to say that we are not buying your gold because it's from this source. Because I've seen situations where Ghana has been blacklisted, even in the area of cocoa, in the area of fish, because of perceived activities that the international market frowns upon. So I'm happy that we can have that clear-cut distinction. Then when we have had that, it gives me the joy that then when we are tackling this particular issue with an unbiased mind, knowing that it's not going to affect our revenue generation. It's not going to affect our soil because if, like Sami Jemfi said, this gold, the 66.7 tons coming from small-scale mining, I take legitimately that it's coming from the licensed
Small-scale
miners who are doing no harm to the environment.
That's the assumption.
That's assumption. If I heard what I heard, that is coming from licensed small-scale miners, and that close to 70% of them come from licensed small-scale, and then 30% come from the big, large mining companies. It tells me that if we encourage the community mining and we encourage more small-scale mining, like Sami Jemfi said, about 300 of such is going to be nurtured, we can make more money. And then we will be able to flush out the Galamseyers. Because the more small-scale minings we have, which will not, their activities will not affect the environment and the ecosystem. If that is going to give us more, then we will not need, we will have to take a step towards making sure that the Galamsey operations don't flourish so that it will disturb the quality, the standard, the acceptability of and the credibility of our gold. But then now I sit here and say that I will wish that as a country we say that we've earned 6.3 billion from gold. How much of that are we as a country committing, dedicating to reclamation of the environment that we have destroyed? You understand? I want to see the Minister of Finance come to Parliament tomorrow and say that we earn so much, just as we are doing with the Stability Fund for the oil sector, that we are setting up this fund from our gold sales to take care of the regeneration of the environment that our gold producers have damaged. You understand?
Yeah.
Then I will appreciate it because you see, for the past 1 month, I'll be on the road, going around the country, orientating and training drip district coordinators. And to be frank with you, I was scared, but now I'm terrified. I am. I'm being frank with you.
Regarding the destruction of environment.
Yes. Look, I travel between Ashanti and Western region, and the devastation of the ecosystem is huge. But you could see clearly that this is not something that happened yesterday. You understand?
Let me tell you, water, potable water, drinking water, is more expensive in Takwa than in Accra. Yes. Just tell the reporters to go on the streets to find out. Recently, I heard one communicator to the government of the day said that if you don't take care, very soon we'll start importing water into our country. So this is the gravity of the matter we are discussing. That's why when I say that let us not spin what we are discussing, and what we're discussing is germane to our survival as a people.
Yeah.
It's not just about politics. And so we have to put everything that we have to ensure that there is sanity. I wouldn't just sit back and accept any naming and then allow business to go as usual, because that is not the way Ghana must be built.
You know, what even made me more scared, as I said, was when I got to Takoradi and I had to check into Western Serene. I was on the 4th floor. I stood at the balcony just trying to catch a glimpse of the ocean. And along that corridor, the ocean was brown. Yes, that's how serious it is.
I think it's where the Ankobra exits into the sea.
Yes.
Well, that is very far away from where the Ankobra is.
Where
he's talking
West
about.
Yeah,
he's talking about. That's very far away from the Ankobra.
It's scary.
Yeah.
I sit here as a Ghanaian, and I still remember the loss of 8 of our colleagues and compatriots, 5 of whom were so close to me. And the only thing I can say is that just not a matter of gold. It's a matter of survival. As a country, we've gotten to a place where whatever it will take to end Galamsey must be done. Whatever it will take. Yes, yes. And I'm confident the president, what he said yesterday, is not an event, it's a process.
Oh, really?
So I would say that.
Oh, yeah?
No, you see.
No, we see, I love the conversation.
No, you see, yesterday the president was frank. He was very
we're saying,
clear.
Okay, so we're saying that we're not frank.
No, you see, with your government, what happened?
But I love.
No, you see,
this is why I love my country, Ghana.
Yeah.
If we speak like this, then we are home.
Yeah, but you see, you and I will agree that there were obvious attempts within your government to frustrate the president's effort in fighting the Galamsey issue.
Is it not happening?
And that was
it's
testified.
not happening in your government.
Well, me, I sit here today.
I don't want to go there. Listen, listen. I have watched videos of members of your party speak at fora, open fora, with Galamseyers, and the words they have used.
Yeah,
I mean,
members of our party.
Yes,
not members of government.
Oh, listen. It's the party that forms the government.
Yes, but today,
sometimes you and I will agree.
You see, that to the extent that the Attorney General has even come out boldly to mention 2 figures of the party and asking a state institution to investigate them on their perceived involvement in Galamsey, tells you that it is not a government that is going to condone complicity.
And you know, one of these two recently in Akwetia was calling on the president to stop the Galamsey tax force.
But has the president listened to him?
But just as said is saying, he's a member
the
of the
police
party.
situation. The president will tell us. For me, as a commander, the president says that there was conflict in my instruction when I asked that forces be deployed and the anti-Galamsey tax force and the police service were at conflict. So I had to withdraw the police service. Yeah, I'm coming. I will accept it from the president because the buck stops with him.
Yes.
So when he says it, I know this is how he's reporting to me. I won't look anywhere else. But from what you rightly said, when I watched the personalities speak with the Galamseyers, and then the Galamseyers were excited by the position he had taken because he was on their side from the way he was presenting himself, I got to realize that, hey, we have a huge task on our hands. Okay, so if Mr. President comes to tell me this today, and I know, and what, linking that to what he just told me, people within the system are ensuring that your policies fail. It is a human society. And so people come with interest. It doesn't matter that we're in the same boat.
I agree with you, but you see, the issue is that the president's attorney general wouldn't embark on this route without the endorsement of the president. You understand? So it tells you that the president is keen, and even when you are
no,
part
I'm not
of
accusing the president. I don't want us to put John.
I'm not.
I don't want us to put John on the chopping board.
I just want to make it. I just want to make it clear.
This is a societal issue.
Yes,
I don't want to put the president on the chopping board.
I'm saying that the police task force. Yes, the president clearly explained to us why the police task force has been withdrawn and reconfigured. He said there is a structure that have been put in place now, including the police. And the situation before was giving every policeman, every police officer, anywhere, that assumption and that authority of a Galamsey tax force. And yesterday he explained it.
I'm saying by the police service that I know, and the deployment that the IGP made. He had a special task force. Wait, it's a command service. Wait. Let's be very clear on some of these issues. When there's a president who's a commander-in-chief says, I've ordered the IGP, withdraw your men.
No, he didn't say yes.
No, I'm coming. He says, they should work that they should...
In coordination.
Yes, they should work in coordination. However, before that, they need to step aside. That is why they've withdrawn.
Yes.
So that is the clarity. My next concern is that If the president comes to tell us that this is the situation, I just take it from him. But in reality, it's not every police officer anywhere, because the police have divisions. The police will always deploy based on your unit. You can't go and tell a crime investigation officer that immediately go to Galamsey site.
You just talk about society. You think there are no police officers somewhere who want to take advantage of it? Yes, and maybe there were one or two. Maybe that's one of the instances that our party official was referring to. You wouldn't know.
Okay.
So I'm saying that
for expediency, I'll give you.
I'm saying that, look, where we've gotten to, I think that we must have a national dialogue on this issue of Galamsey. All political actors, all social organizations, all of us involved and concerned about this fight, to say, look, this is government plan. You can critique it, and we all come to a conclusion. This is the path as a country we want to go in resolving this menace. Then we all know that we can chart that path. Then when somebody is drifting off that path, all of us will have the opportunity, because we know the path.
Exactly.
I will say it again. At this time, I do not care whatever method is used to stop this Galamsey.
Very well.
I do not care.
Very well. Very well. Very well.
I do not care. Because you see, we
care
can't.
about your political party.
I do.
Care about your country.
Yes, I do. I want us to stop Galamsey, because I know 2028 is waiting. You will be on the platform to be one of the key. Yes,
no,
that you will use.
I'm keeping all my phone.
Thank you. That's why I will not give you the opportunity.
Oh, no.
I want it to be resolved now.
Let me bring in like
Because 5 of my colleagues have died.
5 of our nationals.
8 of our nationals.
Yes.
8 of our nationals. But 5 of my colleagues.
Right.
I served in government with them. We work closely. As any day of my life, I get up and I say, so I can't see Omanibuama anymore. I can't see Abuaji anymore. Mutala. My neighbor, we share the wall. We ate from the same bowl. Today is no more because of this. Every day I get up, I cringe.
So whatever it takes to stop it.
Whatever it takes to stop it, we must.
Very well, thank you. But Larry, your thoughts on the Galamsey bit of the...
it's taking over there.
It's taking over.
But I mean, granted. See, I'm told of a police officer who was posted to a certain area like that where there was a lot of Galamsey. When the man landed, I was like, but here there's no electricity, there's no water, there's no so and so. Please, they started making calls that he doesn't want the area and he should be transferred back, taken elsewhere. Then they told him that he should give some time and that they were working on it to be sorted out. 2 weeks later, when they called him and said, listen, we found a place for you. We are ready to move you from the place. He said, no, he doesn't want to be transferred.
He doesn't want the light anymore.
No, he doesn't want the light anymore.
That's on a lighter note.
No more. Even the accommodation, he's taking care of it.
Yeah.
Because then things started
flowing.
Yes, things started flowing. But I see, I'm using that to justify the point that since the change of government, at least we've seen something within that, area where the IGP has even moved some of the district commanders from some of these areas and posted them elsewhere. So people had gotten familiar with their environment. They were enjoying. They didn't mind at all whether or not their wives and kids were with them. Okay. Once they could make whatever it is from the Galamseyers, I mean, we know they throw money around. Once they were making money from these people, they didn't mind whatever, happened to the environment. But there's a new sheriff in town who says that, listen, we are moving these people from wherever it is and posting them elsewhere. If we can continue, rotating them as part of the strategy, we'll get somewhere. The president, as he spoke, said that, something, there were parallel structures. There was the one that was formed,
the
coordinating, and then there is a police angle. So you don't know who is going where and who is deploying what strategy. But then he had to at least kill one so that whatever is in place can be better monitored. I think that is also a good approach. I'm saying this because then years ago, we had somebody, the president, who said, listen, I'll put my presidency on the line. And I don't mind what happens. My presidency is on the line. At the time he was leaving office, we saw the state of the environment. We saw the state of our water bodies. At the time he was leaving office, officials, under him were mentioned by no less a person than
his own former minister.
Yeah, his own former minister, Frimpong Boateng. And their counter strategy, counter statement was that even his son was also in the pit with them. So if your son is here with us, so why are you talking like that? Okay. And another thing you hear was, you remember the pet in here Sika comment? Yeah. I mean, pet in here Sika. Here we are, that one person, another president says, listen, my party officials should be investigated. Should be investigated and then punished if need be. I mean, we can, Honorable said, we can only monitor the space and come back here in a few weeks' time and review whatever it is, whether or not that commitment, has been true to whatever it is. Then also we know about the gold board, what is happening, okay, where there's a strategy to monitor what comes in and how it comes in. The tracing thing that was mentioned. I wonder how that will be done really. But if it's been done with the blood diamonds or something before, we can also learn something from
Knowledge
that.
Is power,
Yes, exactly. So I think that gradually we are getting somewhere. Finally, it's the responsible cooperative mining and then skills development program that was talked about, and then the objective about it is to promote environmental responsible cooperative mining, restore degraded lands, and also provide skill training and alternative livelihood for people. That is also another key. So it shows to me, okay, that somebody is not sleeping, but that there's a strategy about it. Policy is all about, monitoring and evaluation. So weeks to come, years to come, we can sit back here and then review what has happened. We can compare notes and see whether or not what the new government deployed.
I'm not in a hurry.
Yeah, neither am I. Neither am I. So
I see that the destruction of the environment will not wait for us.
No, you see, I like the posture of the journalist.
It will not wait for us.
I reviewed them yesterday when they were talking, and I was just gladdened. So really, so sometimes we are not just blockheads, but you can also speak. And then when you speak, you can get this way. Oh, beautiful! I enjoyed it. I did enjoy myself last night.
We've had journalists who transited to become politicians.
Very well.
Yes, one is here. So I mean, there's always a symbiotic, relationship. Let's.
Sometimes when journalism comes into play, and I want to make sure that look, this is not about politics. This is about my profession. This is about my background as a journalist. What sort of report? What sort of critique? What sort of, let me say, critical analysis will I make of a particular policy or program? And that's exactly what I'm doing. When it comes to Galamsey, objectively, I think that it's gotten to a point where it doesn't matter what process we use to end this. We must end it. As a country, we must end it. That's all. That's my point. Yesterday, I was happy the president talked about even taking some people out to Australia to learn the modern methods of small-scale mining, which do not affect the environment. I'm happy. What it tells me is that, yes, it says it's a program. The program has not been exhausted yet. So let's see. I'm sure that next year, possibly early next year, when we come to this same point, the president can say that the results we've achieved so far, but I think these results are not still consummate enough. So this time I'm going up another notch, and this is what I'm going to do. Then we all appreciate the efforts of the government to at least minimize the effect of the environmental degradation. Nana, look, as a country, I'm saying this. I know there has been strong advocacy. I think we still have to do more. All of us as a country, as a people, let's really take. I see the work that is being done by, is it Asaridonko?
Erastus.
I listen to people like Dr. Samuel Owusu, Sewa Asante, you understand, Ken Ashigbe.
Yeah.
These people.
Even this house.
Yeah.
City
City as an institution. You understand? And I say, look, I don't think this individual and these voices are enough. All of us. Me, sitting here, I can say it without any equivocation that our victory in the next elections in 2028, 90% will be hinged on how we fight Galamsey. I'm being frank with you. It's one whip that people are going to use. One whip that set is going to use. Whether we like it or not.
This invitation you're extending to him.
No. It is something.
He'll fall for it.
It is something. It is, look, because I know on almost all those other issues, we may score not less than 75%. But if we don't even score 50% in Galamsey, we'll be a whipping.
Very honorable. Thank you. Larry, I'll come back to you to wrap up, but I need to take a quick break at this point. Stay with us. The show is interactive. Let us know what your thoughts and your comments or contributions are. Send us your thoughts via the WhatsApp number on your screens. And you can join us on socials as well. We'll take a break here. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation. So here, Larry, I'll come to you to wrap up your submissions on this
as we were saying, I mean, one of the reasons that Ghana Water gave for wanting
the hike in the tariffs.
Yeah, exactly. It's Galamsey.
Yeah.
Okay, the turbidity of our water, you know.
As it stands, Konyako is shut
The whole
down.
of Central Region is now gone. No water.
Central Region.
Central Region, no water.
Meanwhile, that is, you know, the hub of our education.
Yeah.
Very soon, some of our children are going to go there to meet what and drink what.
For the past 1 week, it extended to Kaswa and then Weja.
So Larry, see, forgive me, Nana. That's why sometimes I don't want to go there. When President Akufo-Addo said I'm putting my presidency on the line, if you sit as the chairperson to our National Security Council, they give you all these briefings. They give you all the projections where we are going to get to. And I saw that communication as a gesture of inspiring all of us to come around the table and let's see how best we could resolve this matter. You know, but like I said, when I speak, somebody may piece it out and decide to do whatever they want to do with it. It's all painful. But this is the reality of the country we live in.
So, thank you. So it's coming out clearly that, I mean, it's not only Ghanaians who are involved in this particular matter. You hear comments that there are foreigners who have, you know, have virtually taken over the space, providing security for some of these Galamsey people. We've seen Chinese in there. Some we have punished, others we have let to go through deportation and all that. You're hearing about Congolese coming in and other rebel leaders all coming in and so on. For me, that is a serious national security threat. And that every strategy, you know, needs to be deployed to get to the bottom of this particular matter. Water is life. Okay? People are fought over...
Not to cut you, it's not only water we're suffering. ECG is suffering. Because the structure of their pylons being undermined. Because people are digging under the pylons. So with a little wind, the pylons are down.
We are in trouble.
Our road infrastructure
around
between Nkoko and Konongo being undermined. The railway system is gone. Because where the railway tracks pass, Ankerset's area, you know, Eastern region, parts of the Eastern region, everything is gone. Everything is gone. So every aspect of our life as a country is being threatened. And that's why I'm saying I will endorse whatever strategy that will be taken by my government to kill Galamsey.
It's scary, isn't it?
It is. It is. It is. Indeed, it is. And if you look at the dangers it portends for us as a people, I don't know how many of us will be able to afford imported water.
I'm happy that the president talked about people being taken to Australia and Canada to go and learn best practices. You see, it shouldn't just be about I've taken party people or, you know, my friend somewhere out there. I see it should be all encompassing. If you have to take opposition people, take them. Journalists, take them. Others, take them. So that it goes beyond just the people who sit in their bedroom or in the comfort of their offices and are instructing. Okay, very often that doesn't get to the, you know, to the heart of whatever it is. But when you take every facets of society, they are better placed to monitor whether whatever it is that we went to see elsewhere is being, you know, implemented. And I'm saying this because then we tend to believe that ours is always the best. Oh, Ghana there, our blaster is good. Our rice is better. Our beans is okay. Okay. We need to learn. I mean, there should be, you know, cross-pollination. So that at the end of the day, ideas will be brought on board and we can, you know, live better.
Very well.
Do you know the danger potential for us? That may be the question, one of the issues right now. This. What will give ordinary citizens that strength, that fearlessness to say, damn the soldier?
I'm confronting him.
I'm confronting him. The soldier with a weapon.
And now 2 lives are lost.
Oh, but
we know that an assembly member
last year,
was one of
I think
those
we
who
lost
died.
about some 8 people who went into a gun battle. You know,
with
soldiers.
You see, when I'm quiet because we suffered it.
No, because we presided over an area where Galamsey was seriously prevalent.
It's not just.
So you experienced it
over an area.
As the head of the regional security committee, how were you feeling?
That had.
He won't say no.
That had Galamsey. Galamsey is a watch the whole of our country. Galamsey is not just in the Eastern region. Galamsey is in Upper East. Galamsey is in Savannah. Galamsey is not just only in the South. Hitherto it was a Kabonga problem. It was just for us Southerners. It is not like that anymore. So if we're talking Galamsey, we say it's a national security.
No, I'm looking at your experience.
No. My experience is just like what you said. I don't just come from Eastern region and live in Eastern region. I travel across the length and breadth of our country. And when I go, areas that I knew prior to this menace, that is also being transformed by this same brutish, it's something that worries me. So when I speak, I don't just speak as my experience from office. My experience from office, I've taken notes. It's not everything I can say. So yes, I'll speak responsibly. But the truth of the matter is that it is something which is killing our country. And so I don't believe in anybody spinning it and using it as a political tool. Yes, you may for a season, but as you step back, you realize that it has caught up with you. You can't go anywhere with it. You can't go anywhere with it.
Right. Let me take a few messages and then we can go into some politics. This one says, good morning, Nana, and to your guest as well. Ghanaians are disappointed in the Mahama government on the issue of Galamsey. From the foregoing, the NPP government seemed to have managed Galamsey better than the current administration. This is Haj Ahmed texting from Nima. We hope and pray Galamsey will be tackled and dealt with accordingly. We, the NPP, will not politicize this fight like the NDC did in opposition. We will support them, but if they fail, we will point it out right into their faces. Galamsey has now escalated. EMP has taken over the black water now. You need to come and see the state of the water there.
How? It's a bloody lie. Not even one excavator has moved to site. Can you imagine? Such a lie.
It's Master Planner Junior from Kintampo.
Of course, Master Planner Junior.
This one says, good morning. On Galamsey, do you remember Honorable Joe Wise's recommendation? I think the time has come for the president to task the military to ensure getting our rivers clean without involving any civilian or politician. Well, keep your comments coming in. We'll do our best to read them on the show. Now, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is out campaigning. I think yesterday he was in the Adansia Sokwa area. And he says the NDC is using state power to target the NPP. He is accusing the NDC of political persecution. From where you sit, Honorable Echampo, what do you think?
Oh. I think Dr. Bawumia maybe was referencing a few occurrences that have happened with people who are New Patriotic Party members that have had issues with state security. And more recently, a regional chairman from the Bono region. I mean, the style, the state in which he's being hauled around for certain investigative purposes. It speaks volumes for what is Dr. Bawumia is referencing. I don't need to, belabor the point. What do I have to say? Yeah, we have power today. We teach you where power lies. That's the kind of posture I see. It takes us nowhere. It's the same country. At least for my life, I have experienced regimes. I was a student leader under President Rawlings, together with my brother Haruna Idrisu. So I've been an activist for a while. So I've been focusing on how issues are managed. I've witnessed how security has been managed, how we've transformed, how we have gone deeper. I do not stay away from what I understand. So if you've been minded in our conversation, when it came up about the police deployment, I was in a hurry to tell you how the police, because the police, every police officer have an identity. You have an identity number and your name.
Your name.
And so and there is an internal disciplinary code and practice and a division, a unit which is called PIPS, which is within the police that checks on checkmate on every person. And so it's an institution that is minded of whatever they do. So when they are doing stuff, and we who know sit back and observe their actions, we know. It is not new to a Ghanaian, the kind of issues that have been with us in recent times. For instance, I always call the gentleman the poster boy of the day, of the government of the day, Kevin Taylor. I mean, his new media actions is there for everybody to see. He was able to come into this jurisdiction when a court of competent jurisdiction had ruled over him. He was shepherded by the same state apparatus. And so I don't condone what my regional chairman said. I will not be able to say those things. I don't repeat those things. But if I go across the spectrum and I look into what others are saying, what others are doing, I'm sure people learn from each other. So maybe he's gotten it wrong and the system believes that, yes, we'll teach you a lesson. But mind you, this is not the first political party activist who is a leader in a political party. The regional chairman of Ashanti is going through a similar exercise. The regional chairman of Bono is going through this exercise. My pain is that should the table turn, hitherto, party leaders are not treated by our practice this way. So when the tables turn and people are going to go after fellows, I can't go after me because by my practice, I don't know that to be the situation. But if we allow the system to go after people who are anointed party faithfuls, then we are getting somewhere that we are not known to. And so I'm not surprised that Dr. Bawumia made the comments he made.
Right. Honorable Vanapoy, matter, and do these persons have questions to answer? And if they do, the style or the type of, the way they were apprehended, does it give room for some of these accusations to be made?
First, let me say this. Honorable Seta Champon is sitting here. He walks around. No one has asked him the question. No one has ever threatened him. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, he walks around. He's campaigning. No one has asked him a question. No one has threatened him. we have, as citizens, we have rights, but we also have responsibilities.
True.
And when, in exercising our rights, it extends beyond a responsible behavior, laws have been made to check all of us. I sitting here, there was a time when the government thought that I had done what I shouldn't have done. I wasn't put in the Black Maria. I was put in the trunk of a car and dumped at the police station.
You were an MP?
I wasn't an MP. I was about to become an MP.
Okay. You were a candidate.
I was a candidate at that time. I'm not saying those things are justified, but I'm saying that responsible behaviors would not necessarily lead someone to have such a relationship with the law. I've seen somebody talk about the president's daughters having access to the state jet, and that was enough to get the person bundled to police station. I've seen somebody talk about the fact that First Lady was getting herself embroiled in the sale of lands around Chado, and that person was bundled from a studio into police gallows. I've seen situations where somebody, for being somebody who even during John Mahama's time openly said John Mahama had taken bribe, nothing was done to him. Criticized government, and that person had to run away for his life. So we must all understand that in exercising our rights, we must be responsible as much as possible. My admiration for Seth as a politician, Seth as a Ghanaian, goes beyond our friendship. I admire the way he conducts himself. And I know if he keeps on that way, there's no way he will ever have a brush with the law. I don't know other things about him. But
we'll find out.
You understand? I just want us to understand that, look, somebody like the regional chairman for Ashanti region, what was he accused of? And the things he was accused of would set and people within their rank be happy that he should be allowed to go free. He should not be questioned. He should not be tried for said things. Where some people in this country have been shot and killed for having more than 5,000 cedis. As a guidance, as a historical distinct for us to understand that when we corrupt ourselves, when we steal government state funds, there's a punishment for it. When somebody like the Bono East, is it Bono chairman, Bono regional chairman, bro, I will have every sort of political dislike for maybe Nanado, but I would never, Lante, say the sort of things Abronye opened his mouth to say about John Dramani Mahama. I'm being frank with you. Look, I've heard people like Kennedy Apong even call President Mahama stupid, threatening to even burn his house. And you think we must allow these things to go in this country? From my training, anywhere a younger person insults an elderly person, that younger person is whipped. That's how I was brought up. I don't know about this generation, but my generation, I was taught how to respect people who are older than me, let alone a president. You understand? So I will not stand up and insult somebody older than me or somebody occupying a position in this country that is elevated by our own constitution. For Abronye to open his mouth and even say that President Mahama impregnated his spokesperson,
some of the things on air.
If you know those things cannot be repeated, then you should know how grievous his crime is. You understand? You yourself, you testify to the fact that these things are such that I don't want to repeat on air. And you are criticizing the way and manner he has been arrested. I would have arrested him and tied him to a caterpillar and driven him from Sunyani to Accra.
Does the law give you room to do
Why
that?
not? Why not? Why not? Does the law give him room to insult somebody and accuse the person of falsely like that?
But once you're picking him up, he's not being pronounced
You
guilty by a
accuse
court.
President Mahama.
So his dignity
You
must be
accuse President
respected.
Mahama of having orchestrated the death of his own ministers. What sort of nonsense is this? And people think that you must be treated like a pope, giving all the you lose all those respect that meant for you the day you sat down. And is it?
But you don't lose
the
your
annoying
rights.
part? What's right? He has not.
Do you lose your human rights?
If he thinks that he has rights to insult somebody and infringe on somebody's rights, then somebody also has the right to make sure that he doesn't enjoy his rights. I just want to how grievously this guy has handled the sort of responsibilities assigned him sitting on a television or a radio station to speak.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. To the extent that the host of the program was even asking him to withdraw, apologize, which could have mitigated the effect. He said no.
Who is this guy?
Abronye.
Kwame Bafo.
And the person has been put in a Black Maria, a very cozy Black Maria. and look.
You know, Black Marias have some racial.
Yes.
Because it's a South African.
Yes. You know, Black Maria is not different from the white on chain we used to sit inside.
Okay.
It's not different. I was put in a boot of a pay record.
The long one.
By policemen and dumped at Labadi police station for a crime I never committed. Just for somebody alleging that I forced them to do a double registration. I was picked 4:30 midnight
For double registration.
for double registration.
No carrying gun.
So you see, when we talk about these things, it's not because we endorse certain actions, but I'm saying that many MPP people are walking on the streets of Ghana. No one has touched them. And I believe no one will touch them because they are responsible Ghanaians. Abronye cannot claim that responsibility to any right after what he has done.
Well,
He knew how grievous, or I'm sure people like Seth may have advised him to that, Charlie, you've gone too far. That's why immediately he wrote a letter seeking political asylum. What crime, what political persecution were you going through to seek political asylum at that time?
he said there were
He
threats
knew.
against his life.
Threat against his life. Even ordinary Ghanaian, if I insult Seth, ordinarily, me and Seth, and I insult Seth, Seth will tell me, if you're not careful, I will slap you for insulting me. You understand? Ordinarily, he may walk away, but some people will tell you, will threaten you, will tell you, stop insulting me, stop pushing me, stop hitting me. You understand? Ordinarily. So he knew that what he was doing was going to lead to ABC. He knew. And that's why immediately he himself tried to seek a refuge, a shelter, under diplomatic cover. Juma.
Very well,
Look,
Larry.
Abronye has to face the music. He has to sing to the chorus he himself, the tune that he himself has set. And I believe, like the president said yesterday, it is time we make people conscious of the fact that you cannot just use social media to denigrate, to insult people, and incite violence, ethnic violence, religious violence, and go free.
Very well. Very well.
It is not permissible.
Larry, let me hear from you on this matter.
I disagree with
Dr. Baumia.
Yeah, but former vice president. Yeah, because see, you can't profess to be apostles of democracy and not be ready to subject yourself to the test of it. You cannot say you're a believer of rule of law and say that, oh, you know something, I can say anything, I can threaten Honorable Seth here or Nilante here and just go scot-free. It has to come with responsibility. Same way you expect your rights to be guaranteed. If you were put in charge of state resources, how you administered it, how well that went, or if there are any infractions, you need to be ready to give, an account of your stewardship. So if people are being called to say that, oh, Honorable said, please, we have discovered this thing, can you come and help us with investigation? Once you call yourself a new patriotic party, unless of course the patriotism is old, but if you are new, it has to be fresh all the time. You have to give an account for your stewardship. So if people are being invited, and this is not the first time, we've passed rules and regulations and laws about, what corruption is, how our ways should be, how we should be, But if after going through all that, you were happy taking on the post, you enjoy whatever came with it, but you are not ready to subject yourself to accountability. That is, that for me is an issue. Again, with the new media and how people are using it and so on.
Yeah.
See, I almost call Idi Amin the great Idi Amin, but the Ugandan guy once said that he will guarantee you freedom of speech. But freedom after speech, that one they forget it. So meaning he's telling you, be careful what you say.
Yeah.
Even he, with all the stories that we heard about him, said, listen, I'll give you freedom of speech, but not freedom after speech. So mind what you say. This thing where actually people are on whatever. Me, I've been victim of Abronye before. One day I was in school preparing for an exam. Then I had calls. Are you listening to Omine FM? I said, oh, no. I said, oh, go and see Abronye. That he's accusing you of going to collect some bribe somewhere. That he was in a room when I walked in to collect the money. And that they gave the money to me in Ghana must go.
He saw you and taking the money.
Yeah, sure. So I made some few calls and then, the producer drew his attention. That listen, Larry had said that, mention the place where this thing had happened and all that. So he said, oh, me see. So and the next day, there was an incident I'll mention. He got involved in some issue. Then I called him and said, oh, Abronye, listen, this thing came to my attention that you were involved in this and this. They said, because yesterday I sat on my FM and said you had gone for bribe. You want to write a story about me. Go and write it. Lali Dogbe. This was his words. Lali Dogbe, I'm going to say that you've been collecting bribes here and there. You get it?
Yeah.
A lot of people have been victims. Dr. Opuni has been. President Mahama has been. Many others, even his own party members, have been victims of whatever it is. Chief, but he's become my friend. That's the beauty of it. And I don't appreciate what is happening to him. Whether he will reform after going through that, most often they don't reform. They get rather emboldened.
This person must be dealt with so that others who understand.
To serve as a deterrent.
Yes. Look, his own party people. Recently, look at the way he insulted Kennedy Japan. Why?
Yeah, I know that one. I'm a Ghanaian, I'm a Ghanaian.
Oh, no, I mean, I'm not interested. I think that we must sanitize our political space.
Indeed.
So that people will not have. You see, but for politics, look at Abronye. Look.
No, but let's leave it here.
No.
Let's leave it to the law.
No, the man is speaking Ghana. Come on,
let's leave it to the law.
Come on,
gentlemen, thank you so much. Our time is up, unfortunately. Larry, forgive me.
I knew him in Abronye.
I hate to do this to you, but forgive me. We'll have to wrap it up. We'll leave it here and continue some other time. Honorable Sete Champo, Honorable Nilate Van der Poel, Larry Dogbe, thank you so much. And thank you to you for joining us. Thank you for the messages. Keep it coming in. But don't go away. The show continues with Philip and Chris Carter after this.